Stop what you're doing and listen up. If you've got EBT, scammers have developed yet another way to steal your food benefits. And social workers are worried that these scams are going to siphon a lot of money away from the families that need it most this holiday season. In this month's EBT update, we're going to talk about how to keep your benefits safe, as well as some other shocking food stamps headlines that you need to know about, like how there are millions of dollars in unspent P-EBT benefits just waiting to be claimed, and how some states are giving EBT to $1 million lottery winners. So stay tuned because we have a lot of ground to cover today. Let's start with those scams. You've heard me say that EBT scams have exploded by over 4,000% in recent years, but let's put this number into perspective. In 2021, about $950,000 was taken away from EBT users. The next year, that number jumped to $22.5 million. And so far in 2023, EBT users have been robbed of more than $39 million by August alone. If that trend holds through the end of the year, that's more than $58.5 million stolen from the people who need it most, and that is a ridiculous amount of money. Oh, and I forgot to mention, those are just California's numbers. When you look at the numbers nationwide, it's even worse. There are a lot of ways that thieves are taking these benefits. We've talked a lot about skimming and phishing and other scams on this channel, but this week we found a new one. It's called tumbling. According to Kentucky's Cabinet for Health and Family Services, tumbling is when a thief uses the first few digits of your card number and then uses an algorithm to figure out the remaining numbers. They use high-tech brute force attacks to get into the state's customer service portals or other EBT apps. If a card exists with that number, they can reset the PIN and drain the account. There's a group called LexisNexis Risk Solutions that helps states manage and mitigate risks to the EBT system. They've said that tumbling is usually only used against states that use common PIN formats like the last four digits of your social security number, or that allow common PINs like 000 or 1234. To keep your benefits safe from tumbling, make sure that you are careful where you link your EBT card number. Only add your EBT number to websites and apps that you trust. Understand their security policies and pay attention to any data breach notices that you receive. Never use common PINs that just repeat one number like 5555 or sequential numbers like 6789 because those are easy to crack. Change your PIN frequently as well. Now remember, even though the government has decided to temporarily replace stolen EBT benefits, there are limits on those replacements. If your benefits are stolen more than twice during the same federal fiscal year, they won't replace those. You need to be proactive and keep your benefits safe. Now, on that note, there are a few states that have recently received approval to start replacing stolen benefits, and others that have started implementing those replacement programs. California received approval October 19th and is expected to start replacing benefits December 1st. Georgia, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and the Virgin Islands were all expected to start replacing those benefits by the end of October, so those programs should be live and operational now. Oh, and keep watch for those P-EBT cards. States are continuing to send out P-EBT benefits, and many parents are missing them. More than 90,000 children in New York City have not redeemed their most recent allotment, according to a new report by Chalkbeat. That's $35 million in unclaimed food benefits that will just expire early next year. Now, in Maine, many parents accidentally threw away those P-EBT cards because they thought they were junk mail. To prevent theft, the state has been sending those valuable cards in unlabeled envelopes without much of an explanation. So a lot of people just tossed them away, even though each card was worth $120. So please check your mail carefully so that you don't miss your P-EBT cards. If you missed them, please call your state hotline and see if you can get a replacement. Food is expensive, and you deserve all the help that you can get. Well, that's the point of this channel anyway. We're here to help people who are struggling find the resources they need to survive. But it turns out that not everyone who's been getting food stamps actually needs them. A new study shows that 65,000 substantial lottery winners continued getting food stamps even after they won big. We're talking about people who won at least $4,250 from the lottery. Now, I get that $4,000 isn't going to last very long, but that was the minimum. One particularly lucky winner in South Dakota continued to get food stamps after winning $2 million. This is obviously very illegal. The Farm Bill states that any household that receives substantial lottery or gambling winnings, as determined by the Secretary, must lose eligibility for benefits immediately upon receipt of the winnings. The winner can reapply and get food stamps again after they meet the income and asset limits, but not while they have that money available to them. But states aren't keeping up on their paperwork. The Foundation for Government Accountability found that only about 400 substantial lottery winners were removed after they won. Around 65,000 people were able to win and keep their food benefits, and that's alarming because only 13 states submitted their data for this study. The number is probably bigger when you get the data for all the states. The FGA is trying to use these findings to push states to implement data cross-checks and reinforce asset limits that many states have waived through the use of broad-based categorical eligibility loopholes. They think that implementing these changes would cut back on this particular type of fraud, but it will also make it harder for the average person to get and keep SNAP benefits too. This is a really frustrating situation because a lot of people who need them aren't getting the food benefits they need, and it's not fair for millionaires to take that money for themselves. It's not right. Frankly, it's evil. A lot of news outlets are using this news to vilify the food stamps program, but really, the problem is that the government agencies that administer these programs are so understaffed, and a lot of them are using older, outdated systems that just can't keep up. The people who work in these offices are completely overwhelmed. In Alaska, it currently takes up to 3 months to get SNAP benefits because of the persistent backlog in the state. To try to help speed things up, the state has finally decided to implement an online application for SNAP, which should be live in December. In Georgia, there are almost 120,000 pending renewals, and a large portion of them have already gone past the mandatory deadline. In fact, Georgia's backlog is so bad that the state was recently awarded a waiver to issue a 50% mass replacement of SNAP benefits to households in 17 counties, so that the state wouldn't have to process those disaster replacements. Those replacements are designed to help replace food that was lost during the disaster between August 15th and August 30th in Appling, Atkinson, Berrien, Brantley, Brooks, Charlton, Clinch, Coffee, Cook, Eccles, Glenn, Irwin, Long, Lowndes, McIntosh, Pierce, and Ware counties. And that's part of the problem, I guess. These state departments are struggling to keep up with ordinary, everyday applications and renewals, let alone all the other things like stolen EBT replacements, DSNAP authorizations, or investigating lottery winners. If the states can't keep up with the bare minimum basic paperwork, how can we possibly expect them to do anything more? It's frustrating for sure. Speaking of frustrating, did you have problems spending your EBT in October? Popular EBT processor Conduent conducted some system updates that caused widespread outages. If you had trouble using your EBT benefits or checking your balance on October 12th or 14th, that could be why. Fortunately, we do have some good news today. We found 17 new EBT discounts in 10 areas. If you live in or near California, Florida, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, New York, Washington, D.C., or Wisconsin, be sure to check out the updates at lowincomerelief.com/EBT. Now, Washington, D.C. is also going to use their excess revenue to give SNAP users a raise in 2024. Between January and September, users will get a 10% increase to their EBT benefits through this local legislation. And you can use your EBT card for online grocery orders at more than 20 different grocery store chains owned by Kroger. This expands EBT online shopping to more than 2,700 stores across 35 states and DC. The Kroger family of stores includes big names like Kroger, Ralph's, Dillon's, Smith's, King Soopers, Fry's, QFC, City Market, Owens, JC, Payless, Baker's, Harris Teeter, Pick and Save, Metro Market, Mariano's, Fred Meyer, Food for Less, and Foods Co. So that's going to help a lot of people. That's all we have for our EBT update this month. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out our recent video about 7 bills you don't have to pay when you're poor for more ways that you can save money and get free stuff.